Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another Glacial Geek Battle Report. I am Phil, the Glacial Geek, coming to you here from Tier 1 Cards and Games in Anchorage, Alaska, where today we will be playing a 2,000-point Scouring battle between the Dark Angels and the Salamanders. So the story goes that after the battle against the Tyranids, which, spoiler alert, I'll give you a second if you haven't watched that battle yet, and go watch it. So after the defeat to the Imperials after that battle, words were exchanged and tempers flared, and the two chapters decided to take it to the battlefield to see who was really at fault for failing the Emperor in trying to cleanse the alien. So tempers flared, and here we are at this battle. So yeah, we're going to be playing a 2,000-point scouring mission. So before we go any further, we'll show you the two armies that we'll be playing today. So for the Dark Angels, I'll be running a Lion's Blade detachment to start off the Demi Company. I've got a Company Master with a Power Sword and a Combi Plasma. We have a 5-man command squad with 3 plasma guns, 2 plasma pistols, and a Rhino as a dedicated transport. I have a 5-man tactical squad with a plasma cannon. We have another 5-man tactical squad with a plasma cannon. We have another 5-man tactical squad with a plasma cannon. We have a 10-man assault squad with jump packs, and the sergeant has a power sword. We have a 5-man devastator squad with 2 grav cannons and a Rhino as a dedicated transport. We have a mortis pattern dreadnought with 2 twin link glass cannons. In the command section, we have an interrogator chaplain with a jump pack. Then we have the 10th Company support, a 5-man scout squad. Then we have the Hammer of Caliban. Leading that off there, we have a Tech Marine. We have a Land Raider Crusader with a multi-melta upgrade. And last but not least, a 3-tank Predator Squadron with twin-link las cannons and las cannon sponsons. So for the Salamanders, they'll be running 3 formations. The first is a combined arms detachment. So leading that off is his Warlord, which is going to be a chaplain with a mastercrafted plasma pistol. We have a 5-man tactical squad with a flamer and a veteran sergeant with a power fist and a Rhino as a dedicated transport. We have another 5-man tactical squad with a flamer, a veteran sergeant with a power fist, and a Rhino as a dedicated transport. Then he'll be running a 1st Company task force. Leading that off here, we have a Stern Guard squad with 2 melta guns, and the sergeant has a mastercrafted combi melta, and they'll be arriving in a dedicated transport of a drop pod. We have a 5-man Terminator squad with an assault cannon. We have a 5-man assault Terminator squad with thunder hammers and storm shields on everyone. We have another 5-man Terminator squad with thunder hammers and storm shields. And last but not least, we have the Land Raider Spearhead with a Land Raider Crusader, 2 Land Raiders with las cannon sponsons, and 2 of them have multi-melta upgrades. So those are the 2 armies that we'll be playing today. So we'll show you the objectives. We've got a 1-point objective over here, right there. We got a 2-point objective over here. Got a 4-point objective right there. 3-point objective over here. A 2-point objective over here, and another 3-point objective over there. Show you the deployment here for the Dark Angels. We've got a 5-man tac squad here. We got the Dreadnought up there. The assault squad's here with the interrogator chaplain attached. We've got the Rhino with the Devastator squad inside of it here. We've got the infiltrated scouts up here. Another 5-man tactical squad. Another 5-man tactical squad. We've got the Rhino with the command squad and the Company Master inside of it. We've got the Hammer of Caliban over here. Tech Marine is inside of the Land Raider. Then over here, we've got the Salamanders. We've got a Land Raider over here with the Assault Marines inside of it. We've got the Land Raider with another Assault Marine squad with the Chaplain inside. Then we have the regular Terminators with the Assault Cannon inside of that one. Then we have the 2 TAC squads are going to be inside of these 2 Rhinos over here. And then he's got his drop pod with his Stern Guard still to come in. So as it is right now, the Dark Angels will be going first, unless you can seize the initiative. No, just a 2, not enough. Close, but no cigar. Saving his 6s for later when he's trying to destroy my Predators, I'm sure. So yeah, so that's what we've got going on here. So we'll come back to you after movement phase for Dark Angels on turn 1. All right, movement phase for Dark Angels here on turn 1. These guys ran up there. He's just shuffled around a bit. They shot up this way. They stood still. He shot up, they shot up, they stood still, they moved up, this guy moved up a bit, and they all pivoted. So that's the movement phase. So we're going to move on to the shooting phase now because I don't have a psyker. So shooting phase, we're going to start with the dreadnought. It's going to fire into the guy on the right there. So needing 3s, twin linked. Okay. Front armor 11, so looking for 2s to glance. That's a pen. Plus 5 plus cover, sorry. Nope. All right, and +1. 6 immobilized. All right. Best other than exploding. All right, so that's that. We'll move on. All right, the Hammer of Caliban is going to fire onto the middle Land Raider there. So the blacks are going to be the twin link las cannons. The other ones are going to be the regular las cannons. So hitting on 3s. Okay. Twin linked. Okay, my twin linking is not doing me any good today. All right, front armor 14. So looking for 5s to glance. Rerolling because of Tank Hunter. All right, so I've got 3 glances and a pen. Let's see if it explodes. Nope, so it's just a wreck. All right, first blood. I'll take it. All right, this squad here is going to fire into that squad. The only one that matters is the going to be the plasma cannon. He's going to hit there. Direct hit hits 3. Moves over 1 inch. Can you measure that off of him? Oh, sorry, I've got it right over here. 1 inch. Yeah. So it'll be, looks like 3 guys still. 3 more? All right. So it hits 3 guys. So, all right, 3 wounding on 2s. 3 wounds. Just AP2. What's that? Oh, I forgot to roll to see if it got hot. You're right. Let's find out, because I can roll 1s. No, it didn't get hot. Woo! Okay. 5 up. Oh, 3 Fs because they got storm shields. Oh, 1 guy dies. So closest is, yeah, one of those guys. There we go. All right, moving on. All right, so the command squad from inside of here is going to fire onto those guys. So I'm not within 12 inches, so not rapid firing, just 2 plasma shots. Hitting on 6s because I moved 12 inches, so they're snap firing. So hitting on 6s. Oh no! Double 1! Okay, see if I blow themselves up here. Needing 3s to save. Okay, good. Woo! That was almost really super brutal there. Oh, plasma. All right, moving on. All right, so that's it for Dark Angels here on turn 1. I did a few more runs, but that's it. No charges or anything like that. So we'll come back to you after movement phase for Salamanders on turn 1. And that's the end of the most unlucky movement phase you'll ever see. His drop pod mishapped off the table onto ongoing reserves. This Rhino moved up. This Land Raider immobilized itself. So they piled out. They're coming over this way. These guys were the ones from the blown up Land Raider over there, piled out, or are making their way over this way. This Land Raider immobilized itself. So now they've come out. It's, like I said, one of the most unlucky movement phases I think I've ever seen. So, yeah, that's the end of movement phase, and we'll come back to you with shooting phase here for Salamanders on turn 1. All right, we're going to start with the squad inside here. They're going to fire onto here. So we've got 2 rapid-firing bolt guns from inside. Hitting on 3s, 2 hits. Wounding on 4s, 1 wound. 3 plus. No, 1 guy dead. All right, we'll take this guy. All right, and then the Storm Bolter from there, hitting on 3s. Wounded on 4s. 1 wound. 3 plus. Good. All right, moving on. All right, the squad inside here, we're going to fire into him. So hitting on 3s. Oh, okay. And then the Storm Bolter. Hitting on 3s, wounded on 4. It's a wound. 3 plus armor save. No, first guy dead. All right. All right, the immobilized tank here is going to fire full ballistic skill las cannon into here, into the first Rhino here. So hitting on 3, glancing on 2. That's a pen. Intervening models, 5 up. Nope. So +1, 5, weapon destroyed. So he's down a hull point and lost the weapon there. Then he's going to power the machine spirit, the other one, because he can't get an arc on this one, onto this one. So hitting on 3, hits, wounded on, glancing on 2. No intervening models there, so just +1, 4, so it's shaken. Stunned? Stunned, sorry. So he's down to 3, and he's down, or 2, and he's also down to 2. So, whichever one. Alright, and then snap firing the bolt gun into here. You can't, oh no, you can, yep, 1 hit, twin linked. 2 hits, needs 6s. 1 glance. That's the one with the 5+. Intervening. Nope. So he's down to 1. All right, moving on. All right, the squad there is going to fire into this rhino over here. So just the assault cannon can do anything. So hitting on 3s. All right, glancing or needing 5s to glance. 5s to glance. 1 pen.
See if it explodes because AP2.
Oh no, yeah, the rending actually doesn't give AP2 to when you're hitting vehicles anymore.
Oh really?
Yeah. So still same thing, but it's still a wreck. So we'll get my guys out of there, and then we'll go move on. All right, so over here, the last cannon is going to fire at full ballistic skill into here and snap fire the bolter gun, and then the other last cannon is going to power the machine spirit into this squadron over here. So we'll go for this one first, hitting on a 3. Hits, needing a 2 to glance. That's a pen. 5 up terrain, 25%. So 5 up terrain. Nope. So +1. Mobilized. All right, so he's down to 1, and he's immobilized. All right, and then snap firing bolt guns. No, twin linked. Nope. All right, so then we got the other las cannon coming into here. Hitting on 3, no, twin linked. Hits. Needing a 5 to glance. Oh, can't see that. 5 is a glance. All right. I think that unit's between. Well, but it has to go to the front closest one. So, yep. So 5 up. Nope. So that's a glance. So you take one hull point. All right, moving on.
Multi-melta.
Sorry, we forgot about the multi-melta on this one. It's going to be firing it here. So hitting on a 6 because it's snap firing?
No,
it's a 1. The opposite. All right, moving on. All right, now the chaplain in there is going to fire his plasma pistol into here. So hitting on a 2, or no, what is he? 3. Sorry. But it hits, so then 7 on, you need a 4 to glance. 5 is a pen. So see if it blows up because it's +1. It does! Oh snap, how far? Cocked. 4 inches. Alright, we'll find out what happens, then we'll come back to you with that. Alright, so that's the result. It blew up and it killed one of his Terminators over there. None of my guys died. He actually rolled only 2s and 3s for wounds on these guys in the explosion. So his dice are not cooperating with him today. So is that it for shooting here?
Now assault phase.
All right, now we're on to the assault phase. So, all right, so do you want to do these guys first? All right, we're going to figure out, we're going to fire Overwatch. So these guys are going to charge into here. So we'll come back to you with that once I figure out how many dice I got. All right, we remembered to make these guys take a pinning test for having to disembark, and they failed. So they are pinned, so they will not be firing Overwatch here. So we're just going to roll to see if they get in. What's the distance? It needs about like 3 up or something over. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Let's see what the roll is.
That's 8.
8. That's probably enough to get in, I think. Even -2. Hold on.
So it's 3 up and 1 across, right?
Yeah, like 2 across. So 5, 6, 7. So they do get in. So they will get in. So they will be in there, and that's super brutal because, yeah, that sucks. All right, so then we're going to move on to, let's roll over this one. So I've got Overwatch from here because they're going to be charging into here. These guys passed, so they've got 3 rapid-firing plasma guns, 2 plasma pistols, and then bolt guns. Because they're in the Demi Company, because they're in the Lion's Blade, I should say, they get to fire at full ballistic skill. So they'll be hitting on 3s on the greens and hitting on 2s on the blacks because that's the company master. So 3s and 2s. All right. A couple ones and a couple twos. All right, so there were 2 gets hots in there. So we're gonna roll, see if they save them. 3+ armor saves. Okay, so 1 dies. So now we have to roll to see which of them it is. So 1 or 2, it's gonna be a pistol. 3, 4, 5, a plasma gun, and on a 6, I'll just re-roll. So 1 of the plasma pistols is dead. So he blew himself up. Okie dokie. So then we've got 4 hits with the plasma, 1 hit with the bolter. So wounding on 2s on the plasma, wounding on a 4 with the bolt gun. Okay, so we got 4 invul saves of 3+.
3+.
Oh, 4 die! Oh no! Okay, that was something.
See if
you make the charge. 6 inches. That may not be in. Nope, just out. So it didn't even make the charge. Wow, that was something. All right, we'll move these guys into combat, and then we'll come back to you with the fight sub phase. All right, so we're gonna go here for for this fight sub phase. So my guy's gonna go first since he charged through cover. So all right, I've got 4 from the regular guys, and then 2 from the sergeant because he's got an extra close combat weapon. So hitting on 3s. Oh no, hitting on 4s. I'm sorry, hitting on 4s. Okay. 2 hits, wounding on 4s, 1 wound, 2 up, he's good. All right, now you get to just myrtlate me. So do the sergeant first. So he's got two attacks coming in here, or 3 attacks because of the charge. Yeah. So yeah, hitting on 4s, master crafted, right? Master crafted. Yeah. Nope, still misses. Okay. Now we've got 2, 4, 6, 3, 6, 9. I'm sorry. So we've got 9 attacks with the fist, hitting on 4s.
Sort of only 2 hit.
Okay, so 2. Smushing on 2s. All right, so that's 2 guys dead. All right. So I lost combat by 2, but they're stubborn, so they're going to be at full full leadership. And they are running. Okay. You can't sweep in advance because you're Terminator armor, right? So they're going to have to run 8 inches. Okay. So we'll run them away 8 inches, like the cowards apparently they are. And then we'll come back to you after movement phase for Dark Angels on turn 2. All right, movement phase here for Dark Angels on turn 2. 2 guys died over here. These guys moved up over this way, looking on them. They stood still, they stood still, they stood still. These guys pivoted around, looking over that way. And that's it. So now we'll move on to the shooting phase for Dark Angels here on turn 2. All right, we're going to start here with the Dreadnought is going to fire into the Rhino there. So hitting on 3s, twin linked. All right, glancing on 2s. All right, 1 pen. So +1. It blows up. Oh, no. Wow, that's just the way it's been going today. All right, we'll figure that one and come back to you with that. All right, this squad here is going to fire into that squad. So I've got 7 bolt pistols from the regular squad, and then the interrogator chaplain is going to fire in there. So hitting on 3s and 2. All right. Wounding on 4s. We got 2 wounds, 2 3+s. Good. Alrighty, moving on. All right, now this the command squad is going to fire into the Terminators there. I've got 3 rapid-firing plasma guns and a plasma pistol. Hitting on 3s.
Think about doing it.
Oh, got to get hot. He's good though.
Think about it later.
All right, that's all right. Wounding on 2s. All right, so we got 5+ invul saves. 1, 2, 3, 4. So they're all dead. All right, moving on. All right, the hammer is going to fire into this guy over here. So we're going to start with the Predators. The blacks are the twin links. The greens are the regular sponsons. So hitting on 3s. Twin linked. Alrighty. Glancing on 5s. Rerolling because of Monster Hunter, Tank Hunter.
You were like, yes.
2 pens. Yeah. So I think you've got. Are you obscured enough? Do you think?
I think he's got.
Yeah, I think you've got this obscure. So 5+. So why don't we do 2 for the pens? The 2 pens, 5+.
1 goes through.
1 goes through. And then 3 5+s for the. No, that goes dead. All right, it's dead. Let's see if it explodes. Just because, who knows? Nope, it doesn't. So that's just a wreck. All right. Then I'm going to power the Machine Spirit, the Assault Cannon, onto those guys there. So these are hitting on 2s because the Tech Marine's inside. Twin. Nope, don't need twin linked. All right, Strength 6, Toughness 4. So wounded on 2s. 6s are ending. No 6s, so 3 2+ saves. Oh, 1 guy dies. So,
You guys passed really.
all right, yeah. All right, so moving on. All right, this squad here is going to fire into these guys. So we're going to start with the plasma cannon. So gets hot. It does not. I'm going to place it on the back onto his sergeant back there. Rolling for scatter. Oh shit! I think it was going right on my guys there. 4 inches. That's going to be pretty brutal. All right, 4 inches from your back, sergeant.
So
It's going to go right there. All right, well, does it get your guy down there?
clips 2 of my guys and 2 of your guys.
All right, well, ITC, it has to go on level, so since it's my shot, I'm going to choose the bottom level. So it got 2 your guys? Are you sure 2 guys? Not just the 1?
It's like 4 inches out, so I mean, when you hold it right there, it's 1.
All right, I think it was just the 1. So I figured that. So, all right. So it's because I choose the level, I'm going to choose the lower level, so my guys don't get hit, but I'm just going to shoot, I just hit the 1 of his guy. So wounded on a 2. That's a wound, so that's close. He's dead. All right, and then are they within 24? Can you measure that? I'm sorry. Promise next time I'll remember. Yeah. So I've got 2 bolt gun shots coming in, hitting on 3s, wounding on 4. All right, 3+ armor save.
Which one?
Just 1. Yeah. Sorry. He's good. All right, moving on. All right, this squad here is going to fire onto this squad here. So I'm going to put it right over there. See if it scatters. Oh God, it's been scattering so much. So it's 3 inches this way. Is that going to hit anything? -4, so it's 3 inches.
So off of this guy, right?
Off of this guy. Yeah. So I think that misses everybody. All right, and I think these guys are within 24 inches.
Even see if it got hot.
I did roll to see if it got hot. Did I roll? No, I didn't roll. I'm sorry, I didn't roll. It does get hot, so that didn't even matter. 3+. No. Okay. Well, that was easier than having to measure all that stuff. Womp womp, that's what you get for not doing things in order. All right, so moving on. All right, so their buddy's dead, but I'm going to still fire the bolt guns over here. So I got 3 bolt guns hitting on 3s. Okay, wounded on 4. Nope, nothing. All right, moving on. All right, so this squad here is going to fire into those guys. So I will remember this time. Gets hot. Nope, doesn't get hot. All right, I'm going to put it on the same place, like right over his dude there. See if it scatters.
Yes.
God, that thing is scattered everywhere.
That's way off.
That's going to be way off, and it's not going to be far enough to hit that guy. So, burp, burp. All right, moving on. All right, these guys are going to assault into those guys. So we've got Overwatch here. So we got the flamer here. So the wall of flame. It's 1. So 1 and a 4. That's a wound. 3+. He's good. And then we got 2, 4, 6, right?
6.
Nothing. All right. So let's roll their distance.
And
7 inch. They're going to be in. All right. So we'll move them in. We'll come back to you with the fight sub phase. All right. So here we go for this fight sub phase. We're going to start with my interrogator chaplain. So he's got 3 base plus 1 for the charge plus 1 for extra close combat weapon. So he's going to be hitting on 3s. Doesn't need to reroll here because the first round of combat. He's going to be wounding on 2s. Oh, that's what I needed a reroll of. So 2 3+s. Good. All right. Then we go on to initiative 4, which is going to be his three regular guys and all of my guys. So I'm going to start with my sergeant. He's got a power sword, so he's going to be hitting on 4s, rerolling because of first round of combat with zealot, all hits, wounding on 4s, 2 wounds that are AP3. So that's 2 guys that are going to be dead. But they get to hit back because it's in this same initiative. And these are going to be the regular assault marines because they've got 1 attack plus 1 for extra close combat weapon plus 1 for the charge for each of them. There's 6 of them there. So I think it's 18 shots coming in. Hitting on 4s. Rerolling because of the first round of combat. All right. 4s. Okay. And these are all wounding on 4s. Whoop. Wound on 4s. Oh. There are quite a few 4s in there. All right, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 3+ armor saves to make. Do you mind doing that here because my arm's hanging with this thing over here?
They're dead.
Okay, so the other 2 are going to be dead. So, but the other guys who don't have the power fist can actually strike back. So we've got 1, 2, 3, right? Yeah. So we got 3 attacks coming in. Oh no, they're veterans, right?
He's a veteran.
He's a veteran. Oh, this is the attack squad. So, so we got 3 attacks, hitting on 4s, wounding on 4s, 2 wounds, 2 3+ armor saves, and then 1 guy dies. All right. So I'll roll for consolidation, and then we'll come back to you after movement phase for Salamanders on turn 2. All right, turn 2, movement phase for Salamanders. They have disembarked, looking on these bros. He's run up this way after these guys. They rolled 2 inches and stumbling through the rocks. And in comes the pain train. His Melta stern guard dropping in here, looking to just destroy my my hammer of Caliban here. So we're moving on to the shooting phase now, and we're going to start over here with his Melta guys. So we've got 2 Melta guns and 1 mastercrafted combi Melta that he's going to pop right now. So,
And he's
and they've got preferred enemy on these guys. He said that in the beginning. Sorry. So hitting on 3s, preferred enemy because that's a 1. Nice way to miss it. Still a miss. Okay, but at least it wasn't the combi. So all right. So now it's 13. So you need 5. So that's a pen. 5 at a pen. So that's 2 pens. So let's see what the result is. 1 is explode. So. We should have done it one at a time, but I guess that's the way. All right, but I don't know. Let's roll it off on a 1, 2, 3. Well, actually, yeah. Let's see. On a 1, 2, 3, it was the explode was the first one. 4, 5, 6. It was the second one. So it was the second one. So it's just this one explodes. Distance. Do you want to roll distance? 1 inch. It might hit one of your guys. So I think it hits one of his guys. So a 4. No, nothing. All right. So, yeah, boom, he's dead. All right, moving on. All right, his drop pod here is going to fire into this tack unit over here because, unfortunately, the way I placed him, he's closest. So, hitting on 3s, nothing. Okay, that's just the way it's been going. All right, moving on. All right, so the chaplain there is going to fire into this squad here with his mastercrafted plasma gun. It hits. Wounded on 2. That's a wound. So he is just dead. All right. All right, we're going to go over here. He's going to fire his multi-melta, one of his las cannons, and the heavy bolter into my squad, the squad over here. So we'll do the, which one first? Multi-melta? Multi-melta first, hitting on a 3. Nope. All right, las cannon, hitting on a 3. That hits, wounding on a 2. That's wound. That's 1 guy just dead. 2. All right, then the heavy bolter, hitting on 3, twin linked. Wounded on 3s, 3 wounds, 3 3+ armor saves, or actually I'm going to do 3 3+ armor saves. All right, they're good. All right, moving on. And then he's going to fire the las cannon into the hammer. So hitting on 3, hits, glancing on a 5, Nothing. All right, so moving on. All right, so this squad's gonna fire into here. So we've got the Flamer first. He hits 5 guys there, wounding on 4s. 1 wound.
No, wait. Flamecraft.
Oh, they've got Flamecrest. I forgot because they're the Salamanders. So 2. Okay. So 2 3 pluses. They're good. All right, then on to the bolters. So we got 8 shots coming in, right? All right, do you want to roll it over here if you could? Thanks. Hitting on 3s. All right. Wounding on 4s. We got 3 wounds. 3 3 pluses. Okay, 3 guys die. Oh, and the storm bolter from over there?
You know what? Stormbolter's going over here.
Storm bolter's gonna go into these guys. Need one more? Oh no, nothing. Okay, so moving. Is that it for shooting? I think that's it for shooting. So we've got 1 assault coming in. All right, we're gonna start over here. They're gonna be charging into the Land Raider here. He needs a 7. He gets it. So they are gonna be in. That's that could be super brutal. So we'll see how that goes. And then he's gonna charge over here. So I'm gonna fire Overwatch. I've got the black is gonna be rapid firing plasma from the regular gun. Then I've got the pistol, which is the yellow, and then the green is going to be the company master popping his plasma, combi plasma. So firing at full ballistic skill because of the blade, the lion's blade. So hitting on 3s and 2s. Okay. So those all hit, but this one gets hot, and he's dead. So he is dead. All right, and these ones are wounding on 2s.
And he's dead.
Well, he has a Rosarius, doesn't he?
Oh, he does.
Yeah, he's got 4+. So that's 4 plus saves. No, he's dead. So he is dead. Okay, so that's Slay the Warlord, and he's dead. All right, so we'll move in the Terminators, and we'll come back to you with that fight subphase. All right, so here are the Haminators here coming in for the onto the Land Raider. So we've got they're 3 shots each plus, but one of them's mastercrafted. So hitting on 3s. Wow, that is brutal. All right, now needing 4s to glance.
4s?
Strength. Oh no, strength 8. 6s to glance. Sorry, 6s to glance. Ooh, nothing. Wow, that's oh no, he just fell over. He's fainted. We'll try to revive him with some smelling salts, and then we'll come back to you after movement phase for Dark Angels here. All right, so I tried to move him out of combat there and immobilize myself. So they're still in there. They're not locked, but they're. If I can't kill them before the assault phase, they'll get to hit me. So I disembarked my Tech Marine there. He's looking to come on into the mobilized, whatchamacallit thingy, the drop pod. That's the word I'm looking for. These guys are turned over here looking onto the Terminators. These guys moved out a little bit out of the way. These guys moved up here, so one of the guys can be in range. These guys stood still. These guys stood still. These guys moved up a bit. Those guys stood still because these guys have a plasma cannon that might be going that way. He shuffled around, taking a look over across here. So that's what we've got. That's it. That's what we've got going on here. So we'll come back to you with shooting phase here for Dark Angels on turn 3. All right. So we're going to start here with the Hammer Caliban. I'm going to start with the Land Raider here shooting into them. So I've got one of the Hurricane Bolters, which is going to be the green, shooting in. I've got the blacks are going to be the Assault Cannon, and the yellow is going to be the Multi-Melta. So hitting on 3s, everything's twin-linked except for the Multi-Melta. Of course, that's the one that misses. Actually, I need quite a few rerolls here. All right, 3s. Okay. All right, so the blacks are wounding on 2s. Greens are wounding on 4s, and blacks are rending on 6s. All right, so I got 1 rending plus 5 armor saves. So 1 invul save, 3+. He's good, and then you've got 5 2+s. They're all good. Oh dang! Off to a good start there. All right, then the Predators are going to shoot in. So blacks are going to be the twin linked. hitting on 3s. Okay, all hits. Wounding on 2s. Oh, so we've got 4 3 pluses. Okay, so 2 guys die. I think it's these 2 guys, the closest ones.
For 2? Yeah, because the closest one's the sergeant.
This is the sergeant up here?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
2 lookout sirs, 4 plus. Nope, so he's dead. All right. Alrighty, so moving on. All right, Dreadnought here is going to fire into his Land Raider over there. Hitting on 3s, twin linked. Okay, glancing on 5s. Got 1 pen.
1 5 up?
Oh, yep, 5 up. Nope. +1. 6 immobilized, and he was immobilized. So that's down 2 hull points. So he's down to 1 hull point left. All right, moving on. All right, so this squad there, the Devastator squad there, is going to fire into this squad. So they moved, which means they go to salvo 3-5 for the they're salvo 3-5 for the grav cannons, and only 1 guy's within 12 inches there. So I've got the greens are going to be the grav cannon, and then I'm going to use the Signum on him. So hitting on 2s. Okay, wounding on 3s. Rerolling because of grav amps. So that's 3 guys AP2, so that's 3 guys dead. So I think it's these 3 guys. So, all right, moving on. All right, this squad here is going to fire into these guys. So I've got 3 rapid firing bolters and a bolt pistol, hitting on 3s. Alrighty. Wounding on 4s. Alright, 3 3 pluses. You gonna do it here? Oh, 2 are dead. So that's it. That's it. They're dead. Alright, moving on. Alright, this squad here is gonna fire into his Rhino there because that's the only thing he can see. So does it get hot? Does not. So I'm gonna place it right here, which is the furthest over I can see it. Roll for scatter. Direct hit, of course. The one time it goes direct hit. Good thing it was, actually. That was going to fly over, maybe hit my guy over there. So, yeah, so that's 1. Front armor is 11, so looking for 4s to glance. Nothing. Okay, moving on. This squad here is going to fire into those guys. So we got 4 plus the interrogator chaplain, so hitting on 3s and 2. Okay, all hit. Wounded on 4s. All right, so we got 2 wounds. 3 ups. 1's dead. All right, let's further charge. All right, moving on. All right, this attack squad here is going to fire into those guys. Fortunately, I can't place the plasma template without hitting my own unit, so you're not allowed to shoot it that much danger close. So it's just going to be the 3 bolt guns, hitting on 3s. Okay, wounding on 4. Nothing. All right, so that's it for shooting. I've got 1 charge to make, and then we've got we'll have the 2 fight sub phases. All right, these guys here are going to charge into them. So this is the Overwatch, hitting on 6s. Ooh, 3 hit, wounding on 4s. Okay, nothing. All right, their charge distance coming in here. 6. I don't know if that's enough. Hold on. We'll come back to you. All right, so they're in. Only 1 guy gets Hammer Wrath though. So wounded on a 4. That's a wound. 3 plus. No, 1 guy dies from Hammer Wrath. All right. So we'll consolidate them in, and we'll come back to you with the next phase. All right, so we moved in here, moved these guys into combat here. We're going to start with the chaplain. So he's hitting on 3s. Okay, don't need to reroll. Wounding on 2s. Okay, so that's 4 3 plus armor saves. So 1 guy dead. All right, and then it's cool. And then we'll move on to the next phase. I'm going to roll my my sergeant first, hitting on 4s. Reroll because of the first round of combat. Okay, wounding on 4s. 1, and it's AP3, so 1 more guy dies. And then we've got these, but he gets to hit back. That guy gets to hit back. It's the same phase.
He's the power fist.
Was he the power fist?
No, that's the power fist that's left.
Yeah, but this other guy gets to hit back.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Unless well, this guy can survive. There's a chance. Rerolling.
Oh. It's false hope.
On 4s, wounded on 4s. See, he's only got to make 2 3+ armor saves. And he does it. So he will get to hit back. So this guy hits back with his 1. Hits, nothing. And then the Power Fist guy, Mastercrafted.
Doesn't matter.
They hit. 2. So 2 guys die. So I won combat.
Side combat.
Killed 2 and 2. Well, no, because I also killed the guy in the Hammer Wrath. That counts for bound. Yeah.
Okay.
So you lost by 1.
Okay.
So he's a sergeant. So now you need an 8, and he's in. So that will continue. All right, moving on. All right. So the Tech Marine there charged into the mobilized drop pod here. So he's got his servo arm. So I got the 2 attacks coming in here. So 2 attacks is strength times 2 is his strength 8. Looking for 4s to glance. Nothing. It adds up to a 4. Okay, moving on. +1 for the charge. No, still nothing. Okay, moving on. All right, so because he couldn't move out of combat, we've got this attack coming in here. So we've got 4 hits. He's immobilized, so it's just going to be the damage. Looking for 6s. 1 6. So that's a glance. He's got 1 hull point left. All right, move. That's the end of Dark Angel's turn here on turn 3. So we'll come back to you after movement phase for the Salamanders on turn 3. All right, movement phase. He actually moved out of combat with the Land Raider to go after my Tech Marine over there. So now we're going to move on to, that's it. That's the only thing he can move. So we're going to go on to shooting phase. We're going to start for here. Everything is going to go into these guys, except for the other las cannon that's going to go over there. So yeah, here we go. Las cannon, hitting on 3, hits, and on 2, that's a wound. Onto my the company master. Hold on, we got to figure out. Well, I'm going to come back. All right, so he has a Iron Halo that I was trying to figure out if he had an invul save. So he gets a 4+ Iron Halo save. Oh God, what? He got it. Yeah. All right, now the Melta. Now 3, it hits. Wound on 2, that wound. Can he do it again? Yeah, he can. Woo! The Emperor protects. And now the heavy bolter that will probably kill him. 3 hits. Wounded on 2 3s. So 2 wounds. 2 3+. All right, he made those. Woo! Emperor protects. All right, moving on. And then power the machine spirit, the last cannon into here. So hitting on 3. Hits. Glance down on 5. That's a pen. See if it explodes. +1. Nope. So it's just a wreck. Good job. All right, so the Storm Bolter from here is going to go into my Grav Dev. So hitting on 3s, wounded on 4. It's a wound. 3+. He's good. All right, moving on. All right, so we're moving over here, and he's going to assault into the Tech Marine. So he's going to fire, hitting on 3 because of the Lion's Blade. Nope, nothing. All right, so the charge distance is, but that's still, oh, it's failed because he's moving through cover. Because he's moving through cover. Oh my God. Oh, jeez. Okay, that was, yeah, slightly brutal. All right, so we're going to move over to the other fight that we've got going on, I guess. All right, and we're going to go over here. So we've got this. My Interrogator Chaplain's going to go first. He's got 3 attacks base, +1 for the extra close combat weapon. Hitting on 3s. Okay, no re-rolling because it's not first round of combat. Wounded on 2s. All right, 2 3+ saves. He's good. All right, then I've got my... then we move on to initiative step 4 with my sergeant hitting on 4s.
Oh no.
Wounding on 4s. That's AP3, so he's dead. All right, so they will consolidate 2 inches. All right, so moving on. All right, movement phase here. We've got these guys shuffled around a bit to get some shots on him. These guys kind of moved around, getting some shots on them. And those guys are just over there. These guys stood still. He shuffled around, get some shots on these guys. So that's it for movement phase here on turn 4. So we're going to go on to shooting phase. All right, we're going to start firing from these guys into him. So we've got the blacks are going to be the 2 sponsons are going to be firing at full. The 2 turrets. They're going to be firing twin length full ballistic still. these are the sponsons from the guy up on the hill, and this is the sponson because he moved that can see is going to be snap firing. So looking for 3s and 6. Oh, wow, okay. That's, they all hit, even the snap firing one. That's just the way it goes. 5s to glance. All right, twin leg, or re-rolling because of monster, tank hunter. All right, so there's 2 glances and a pen, and yeah, he's dead. All right, so he is dead. All right, moving on. All right, so this squad here is going to fire into the Terminators there. So I've got rapid firing plasma, which is going to be the green, and then rapid firing bolter. So the blacks are going to be hitting on 2s, 3s on the green. Okay, so looking for 2s and 4s. All right, so we got 1 armor save and 2 invul saves. So 2 invul saves, 3+, good, and 1 2+.
Here comes.
No, it's good. All right, moving on. He's gonna fire into the Terminators there. So hitting on 3s, twin linked. All right, wounding on 2s, 2 wounds, 2 3+. 1 guy dies. One up front there. All right. Moving on. All right, these guys are going to fire into the last remaining Terminator there. I'm going to try to plop the plasma right on there. See if it gets hot, because Lord knows it can. It does not. Then roll for a scatter. 4, 3, yeah, that'll be off. All right, and then the bolters, we've got, woo, before I knocked them over, they were in range. So 3 hitting on 3s, wounded on 4s, nothing. Okay, moving on. Okay, these guys here are going to fire into him. So hitting on 3s. Okay, pretty good. Wounding on 4s. Oh wow, okay. So 5 2+ saves, and he's dead. Wow, he's 3 times dead. It's like with emphasis. Like it just kept plopping into his body there. All right, moving on. All right, so the dev squad is going to fire into the drop pod there. So the blacks are going to be the Signum ones, hitting on 2s. Greens are hitting on 3s. Of course. Of course. Oops, those guys fell over. Because, all right, looking for 6s. Rerolling because of grav amps. And it's dead. Alrighty. Glanced to death. Alright, moving on. Alright, we're moving on to the assault phase here. These guys are going to charge. 3 inches with is just enough. Whoo! Alrighty. So now we're just going to do it here. We're just going to keep moving here. So I've got, we'll do it the chaplain. He's got 3 base plus 1 for extra close combat weapon. Plus 1 for the charge. It's immobilized, so they're automatically hitting. He's got strength 6, essentially, looking for 4s to glance. 2, which is all it needed to glance. So he is dead, and that is that's the end of the Salamanders. So that, ladies and gentlemen, is how this game ends, with a Dark Angels tabling, which is the first time I think this happened, right? Maybe? I don't know. Whatever it is, it's pretty rare. But yeah, I think the dice were certainly against my opponent, Tada. It wasn't very fair on him there. But yeah, so that's how it goes. I guess the Salamanders were to blame for our failings against the Tyranids. I think that's what this proved, right? That's what it showed. So yeah, that was a great game. Hope you all enjoyed it. Share, like, and subscribe to the video. I've been Phil, the Glacial Geek. My opponent's been Tada. And until next time, have fun.